Thanks to Shah for letting me use this gameplay. His channel is linked below, and this video contains spoilers. The story of Conquest of Eo takes place roughly 400 years before the Convocation, or 100 years after the Circle was established. If you don't know what either of those is, there's a fan website compiling all canon information in the description. We play as a talented up-and-coming mage who returns from a journey to find his master's tower in ruin and decides to pick up his work to ultimately join the ranks of the Circle Mages as their 13th and final member, better known as the Piper. The clues for that are few in the actual game itself, boiling down to a couple of mentions of a flute, one of which is in the very first dialogue of the game. The story of CoE is set up somewhat differently from a traditional RPG when compared to SpellForce 1 or 2. Our main goal is presented quite early on, and we spend most of the game achieving set objectives to complete it. It all starts with collecting our master's research on the Allfire, the reason why the Circle Mages assigned him a dire fate. It's important to remember that the Circle here isn't necessarily evil. Their order was established by the races in unison to prevent the misuse of magic, and the Allfire, being the heart of all magic, is about as dangerous as it can get. As mentioned in the game, the Circle itself discovered the Allfire inside Shaper ruins on Xu and has since become akin to guardians of its power. They know what it can do, and they also know what harm it can cause in the wrong hands, so they don't want just anyone to dabble in it for the safety of everyone. And we see this in their attitude towards us, but the more powerful we get, the more we begin to understand the Allfire, the more the Circle starts contemplating the thought of letting us be part of their ranks instead of destroying us. Mind you, at this very point, the Circle Mages are immensely more powerful than we are. They have mastered the Allfire while we are just embarking on its journey, but they aren't exactly trying to crush us. They're testing us, trying to see if we're cut out to become one of them. Even when you beat their troops in skirmishes or conquer one of their towers, which is, might I add, a cool callback to various mentions of the Circle Mages having towers, they never face you directly. Instead, they act nonchalant or observant of your progress. That doesn't mean that all of them entertain or condone your actions, but as a unit, they are observing your growth. Of course, the way you grow is ultimately up to you, and butting heads with them isn't the only way to join them. This is where the victory conditions for the story come in. We know from SpellForce 1, 2 and Conquest of Eo that the Circle Mages were two things before joining. They were immensely powerful and incredibly influential and revered within their respective societies. Thus, you are given multiple choices to obtain, from the aforementioned skirmishes with the Circle Mages to gathering massive amounts of knowledge or being revered in a great number of cities. Completing 3 of the 6 requirements, together with the fact that you are beginning to study the Allfire, grants you the favor of the Circle and a seat in their ranks as their final member. That's another thing I'd like to address. We knew from before that Hokan Ashir, one of the Circle Mages you can face in this game, also joined the Circle after it was established. More precisely, he was taken in so that he could be monitored, as he was incredibly dangerous. But it was never said that he was the last member to join. Following Conquest of Eo, we see that it was the Piper, and for somewhat of a similar reason. I also love the attention to detail when handling some of the story elements in this game, such as us first discovering the Allfire node and having to use a proxy to study it because doing it directly from the start would destroy us. To quote Rowan from Dragonstorm, "The Allfire is the heart of all magic, but just like the sun shines too brightly to focus on it directly, the Allfire is something whose true essence is our ruin. This fruit is not meant for us, as we are no gods. Only Aeonir's power could tame the wrath of our world, and we would be foolish to think otherwise. But when you walk the paths of magic, you will hear the call of the Allfire sooner or later. It is not so difficult to conjure it, almost as if it wanted to be found. In the beginning, it is painful. Very slowly, the body needs to get used to the touch of the Allfire. But once this consecration is completed, everything else is easy. However, its power only creates the longing for more power. When one day you notice that even the death of friends seems a small price to quench this longing, it is far too late." At the end of Conquest of Eo, though he becomes part of the Circle, the Piper has yet to fully master the Allfire to match his peers, but he will, given some more time studying in the archives of Moulin-Dir. And hopefully, we'll get to see the full extent of the Circle's power in future DLC. Until then, I can only recommend you pick up SpellForce 1 and 2 to experience the world of Eo and the troubles the Allfire can cause for yourself. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!